Hi, welcome to Grand Insights. I'm your host, John Feligno, founder of Grand Life Financial. Today, I'd like to discuss retirement planning, specifically how to determine when is the earliest that I can retire. Now, you've been in a savings mode for most of your life, and retirement's going to be a big adjustment because you're going to be withdrawing money for the first time. You'll also have a lot of available time, which you're going to want to devote towards things that bring you happiness and fulfillment. Besides the question of when is the earliest that I can retire, some related questions or even concerns we often hear include how much do I need to have accumulated between savings and investments without sacrificing my standard of living? Can I afford to shift from full-time to part-time and still retire comfortably? I'm nervous that I might outlive my money. How much do I need to have saved for healthcare expenses in my advanced years? One of the first things we like to do is help clarify your goals and consider what you're going to do with the extra time you have. So commonly, we often hear things like doing more travel, buying a second home, finding a new hobby, taking classes. Some legacy goals we hear are things like funding college education for your grandkids or leaving a substantial amount to favorite charities. Some others include helping adult children purchase their first home, taking the extended family on a vacation, or becoming more engaged with nonprofit organizations. Next, we look at your existing living expenses and we determine how those are going to change during retirement. There's several phases where your expenses are going to look very different, and the financial planning community affectionately refers to these as the go-go years, slow-go years, no-go years. So during your early retirement years, which we call the go-go years, you're likely to spend as much or more than when you were working because you're more active and you have time and energy to enjoy more experiences with family and friends. In mid-retirement years, you've generally crossed off a lot of your bucket list items and you find more fulfillment staying closer to home. Your expenses during this phase generally are going to be much less. And finally, we enter the no-go years, which is where health constraints come into play, and you're therefore unable to do as much. Medical costs are highest in late retirement, and they comprise a large amount of your living expenses. Oftentimes, without proper planning, we see these costs quickly eroding wealth transfer plans, such as leaving a legacy to your loved ones. And lastly, we review various cash flow scenarios based on these anticipated expenses throughout those three retirement phases we just talked about. We also look at returns on your investments. And we also include when to begin taking Social Security, including weighing the benefit of delaying the start year to help increase your retirement income. So by clarifying your goals and learning how your living expenses will change during these various phases of retirement, this will better allow you to determine the right time to fully enjoy your next stage of life. If you have any questions, please email or call me, and feel free to send me questions for future topics. Thanks very much for joining.